Conditions and plenty of sunshine for the weekend.
Well, life as we know it has certainly changed. Routines, schedules, we're all adapting to this new normal for the time being, and that can have an effect on us and our kids in so many ways. Dr. Nicole Berkins is joining us via Skype this morning to talk about how to protect your mental health through all of this and some advice for parents trying to keep some sense of normalcy and education as well. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Great to be with you.
Okay, so first I want to talk just about real quick about the mental health aspect of all of this, because I know so many people I've talked to, myself, anxiety I feel like has skyrocketed for people. So just some advice or simple tips to kind of help keep that under control during this time.
Absolutely. Anxiety is at an all-time high when we're in situations where we feel like things are outside of our control. There's so many unknowns. Things are changing really hour to hour, day to day. And so that really does ramp up sense of stress and anxiety for kids and adults. So some of the things that can be helpful, routines are really important at this time as much as we can establish and maintain them. Certainly those are helpful for children. The more that we can have kind of a set schedule or keep the flow of the day somewhat close to what they're used to, but that's helpful for us as adults too. And those that are having to work from home now, some new routines will need to be established, but that's important. Focusing on things we can control. When things feel like they're very out of control, we can focus on things that are within our control. So making sure that we're eating regularly throughout the day, getting good sleep, taking care of ourselves, doing some activities and things that are calming and relaxing for us, even if that means putting the kids in their room for a little bit or having them watch a movie or something like that while we do some things to take care of ourselves. That's helpful. And of course, focusing on what we can control in terms of managing and maintaining health for our families, hand washing procedures, social distancing, all of those things that we're being told are helpful to us during this time. Those are things that we can control, and those are really helpful as well.
And I'm sure you've seen it as well, especially on social media, all of these routines and schedules that are coming out for parents to kind of stick to, which are great. But at the same time, the reality is, we're all trying to figure this out day by day. It also opens up a new way for us to engage as families and a great opportunity to take advantage of those things that we sometimes don't really have time for in our busy lives.
I'm really glad you raised that, because that's what I'm trying to promote as a way for families to think about this. This is really an opportunity, if we choose to look at it that way, for us to be able to spend some time, as you said, focusing with our kids on things that we don't always do, even just slowing down and having a slower pace of life right now and engaging around things like games, time with our kids. Learning opportunities are all around us and our kids all the time. They don't need to be in school at a desk to be learning. So focusing on even, things like chores and crafts and projects and all of those kinds of things that are great ways for kids to engage in learning during this time. So really looking for the silver lining there. And while, yes, there are all kinds of schedules and things cropping up all over, and that can give us ideas for things, I really think each family needs to focus on what's going to work for them. Certainly some visual schedules and things can be helpful for many kids, but don't get overly stressed and consumed with what's out there on Pinterest and Instagram and all of that. Figure out what's going to work for your family and just stick with that, and that will be good enough.
I love that. Do you have some good resources, if people need some help and just kind of coming up with some different ideas that they can head to, some ones that you really count on?
Yeah, actually, starting today, I'm going to be sharing activity ideas all day long on my Instagram, so that's a great resource. There are several online platforms for people who are looking at needing some resources or wanting some resources to continue learning for their kids right now. Scholastic is providing free access. That's for young kids through middle school. Khan Academy is providing great resources for kids preschool through high school. PBS.org is making a lot of their learning resources available. So lots of quality things out there that parents can look to get some ideas, particularly if they want to go into more of a homeschooling mode right now and be continuing some of the academic learning types of things.
But the biggest takeaway, I think, is just to not put that added pressure on yourself or your family in a situation that we really don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Absolutely. Take care of yourself as a parent. Focus on taking care of your kids. They're going to be okay. Being out of school for a few weeks is not going to be the end of the world. Don't put that added pressure on yourself. Just focus on taking care of yourself and each other during these days. That's the most important thing you can do as a parent.
That's some great advice. Thank you so much for your time, Doctor.